everyone. Today I am presenting my undergraduate research on the historical trajectory of the model minority stereotype and its ultimate evolution into a legal catalyst during this recent Supreme Court rulings on affirmative action. We will look at how this myth impacts contemporary higher education policies. First, let's define our terms. The model minority myth characterizes Asian Americans as universally hardworking, law-abiding, and socio-economically successful. While it sounds complimentary, sociology shows us it is a harmful trope designed to downplay racial barriers and mask the distinct struggles faced by unique ethnic subgroups within the broader AAPI umbrella. The myth didn't happen by accident. It emerged in the mid-1960s. White media outlets like the New York Times Magazine began praising Japanese and Chinese Americans for overcoming discrimination without government assistance. Historians like Ellen Wu note this was deliberately weaponized to counter the Black Power movement and delegitimized civil rights protests. When we look at aggregate data, Asian Americans appear to have the highest median household incomes. But when we disaggregate that data, the illusion breaks. Communities such as Burmese Hmong and Bhutanese Americans experience poverty rates that are drastically higher than the national average. Treating all Asian Americans as single, affluent monoliths leaves vulnerable students without institutional support. In the historic case Students for Fair Admission versus Harvard, the plaintiff utilized the model minority myth from a new angle. They argued that elite universities were placing an illegal academic tax or ceiling on highly qualified Asian American applicants to balance admissions. To successfully return this narrative into a legal tool to strike down affirmative action entirely. The lawsuit exposed a profound political rift within our community. According to primary data from the Pew Research Center, a majority 53% of AAPI adults actually support affirmative action. However, ideological divergence is sharp. Newer affluent immigrants often opposed race-conscious admissions, while established U.S.-born and Southeast Asian groups largely championed it as a tool for equity. Analyzing this through a critical social lens reveals how power operates. By positioning Asian Americans as the ideal minority, dominant power structures can deny systemic racism exists, while simultaneously pitting marginalized groups against each other. It disrupts Black Asian grassroots solidarity and turns elite college admissions into zero-sum game. What are the immediate real-world outcomes? Early enrollment data post-2023 shows a sharp decline in Black and Hispanic enrollment at top-tier universities. But interestingly, mixed of stagnant growth of Asian Americans, crucially, underrepresented Pacific Islanders and Southeast Asians face even steeper drops in institutional visibility because targeted outreach programs have been dismantled. In conclusion, the model minority myth continues to act as a double-edged sword. It obscures internal educational vulnerabilities, while serving as a political tool to reshape constitutional law. Moving forward, both policymakers and academic institutions must reject monolithic categorizations and look at the true diverse realities of the AAPI diaspora. These are the primary and secondary academic sources utilized from the Olympic College Library infrastructure to support this inquiry. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your questions in the discussion thread.